Guys, what is that you see in front of you? Well, that's the Bestechman Dundee, and it is a great little budget knife that I'm kind of surprised by. At $44, I'm fairly impressed with what you get. So let's turn this around. Let's take a look at this knife that Jared sent me that really did kind of surprise me. Guys, this is the Bestech Dundee, like I said in the intro, and I'm kind of happy with this, and I'm pretty surprised at the price point what all you're getting. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know right now, this is only a $44 knife, but that's because it's on sale right now on Blade HQ. I will absolutely put a link in the description and in a pinned comment. So this is part of Bestech's new more budget line. So we're gonna take a look at it. First things first, I'm gonna put a spec sheet up here. And we can look at this real close. So first thing we're going to do is a little bit of size comparison. First knife is the Oaks Works EDX Osprey, a small gentleman's carry folder. You can see it's not a big knife. Your next knife for size comparison is going to be the Benchmade 940, and this is a knife that most people should know, and you can see this is also not a real large knife, just a little bit smaller than the Dundee here. And then, as always, your final knife is going to be the Chris Reeve Knives Sebenza Large 21. You can see that this is a good bit smaller in dimensions. Not that much shorter, but it is smaller in dimensions. So let's get this out of here, and let's talk about the good things and the bad things I found about this knife. All right, let's talk about all the good stuff about this knife. Well, like I said, for 44 bucks, you're getting a lot of knife. You have a beautiful D2 blade that's ground really nice and thin. It's not super thin behind the edge, but it's thin enough that you got a very good cutter here. This thing screams through cardboard. The D2 originally came, the edge that was on it, I had to replace it. I thought there was a problem with heat treat. After I sharpened, I've had no issues. I went right back through the review process. I started back the testing and stuff. Blade is done in almost a clip point, like a drop point, almost clip point, with a nice big swedge, and this fuller that's on here comes down to the swedge. It gets a really attractive look. The grind on it is really consistent. There is a little bit of a hiccup at the tip on the lock scale side. You can see where it's ground in a little bit further. I sharpened it up. I got a pretty consistent edge, but there is a low spot right here, which is to be expected with a budget knife. G10 handles with a liner lock. The liner lock on this is really good. You've got great access. The lockup is just at about, I don't know, make 25%, and it holds up. The lock on it is good. There's no blade play, no lock rock. Flipper tab on it is really good for flipping, and it is not uncomfortable when you squeeze in on it. There's no real hot spots to speak of on this knife at all. Jimping on it is really good. The feel in hand is great when you're using it and you're cutting. Pocket clip is great. It sits down just deep enough. I can carry this in the front part of a pocket up near the zipper with something else in my pocket, and it's not taking up a lot of space. And then, like I said, the blade is great. You got a lot of straight and then a little bit of belly, and it cuts really well. Like I said, the edge geometry on it is really good. The scales on it have been they're not completely contoured all the way around. They've been faceted off here and flat here, which gives it kind of the rounded feel, but you have some really cool looking facets, and they did a good job milling this. So for a $44 knife, you get a pretty good fit and finish. All the hardware and everything is nice and flat, except for the pivot that stands up a little bit. And like I said, everything on it seems to have held up really well in the testing. Like I said, no blade play, no lock rock, nothing like that. So let's go ahead and we'll get into the couple little bad things that I have noticed, which are not much. It's just only a couple little things that I've noticed in carry. So let's turn this around and flip it around and look at the bad stuff. So now the first thing that I will say is, and it's nothing against the knife. It has nothing against the knife. All thin knives are like this. This, the Benchmade 940, which is fairly slender. The Solar Storm that I'm currently carrying. These slender knives, these thinner knives across here, can have a tendency to be problematic in cutting. So I will tell you that while this cuts really well, I would not want to use this as a heavy duty cutter. Like if I had to cut up cardboard all day, I would want something a little bit bigger. Even though it's nice and broad, it doesn't quite fill my hand, and your hand, I'm not gonna lie, your hand gets tired if you cut up as much cardboard as I cut up with this. There's a little bit of a smile here in the blade. You can see where it's been ground down and then it comes up. You can see it really pronounced there. That's not a super huge big issue, but I think it's just that they could have bought this plunge out just a little bit further. You can see where it's going to come in. I think you would wind up hitting that on stones. If I can get it to focus, you can kind of see there where it's already kind of happening. But like I said, they got in here and it's a little deep right there. So you have a slight recurve here. If this is my knife, I'd probably just grind that out. The swedge is ground nice and clean, but you can see there's a big difference between the fuller from one side to the other, and you can see there's a difference at the tip, which is going to give you that weirdness that I was talking about. One side's going to sharpen different because you've got more material removed. So that could be an issue with the primary grind and the swedge is fine, or the swedge is off and the primary grind is fine. I'm not sure, but that is absolutely misground by, I mean, quite a margin. You can see that ends there, and then that ends significantly farther, probably a millimeter down. And then there's this. If this was my knife, I would absolutely take this out and I would put this pivot in a pair of channel locks or a pair of vice grips, and I would absolutely knock all those little points off of that. I wouldn't change the logo. I don't want to change the logo, but when you're using it and you get your thumb in it, if you're in a pinch grip, it's sharp. It is a little sharp, and it could be abrasive. It sticks up fairly proud of the scales. So you could easily just kind of clean that up on a Scotch-Brite wheel and not really change it that much. Other than that, like I said, pocket clip and everything being great, and the fact that they gave you removable hardware, like hardware on both sides to keep the threads clean, I'm digging it. You can, if you're really good at it, if you've got smaller hands, you can get up there and reverse flick it. So there you go, guys. I'm gonna put a purchase link to this down below, Blade HQ. I think it's a really good knife, actually, especially at the price point. So let's turn this around, do some final thoughts, and send you back out about your day. So yeah, guys, like I said, this is a great little knife. I did have an issue with the factory edge. Just to be clear, I think they probably burned it a little bit when they ground it. But for a $44 knife, they're kicking them out the door pretty quick. It is a budget knife. You know, they're cutting corners a little bit. Typically, that's something that resolves itself, as in this case with a sharpening. So this is a great little knife. I just wish it was a little bit broader in either this dimension or this dimension. It would make cutting with it a little bit more comfortable. So, but that's it on this one, guys. So if you like the content, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. I'm trying to keep the videos maybe a little bit shorter so that they're not so over the top long for you guys. So if you don't like the videos, tell me what you don't like about them so I can change the content. I can't change it if you don't tell me what it is you don't like. If you want to support the channel, it's simple as like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon. If you do hit the bell icon, make sure you've got notifications set to all, and make sure you've got your notifications turned on your device. YouTube keeps telling me they're sending out notifications, but I'm seeing by the general number of views and by the fact a lot of you are telling me you're not getting notifications, they are not. So if you want to see the videos, just check by the channel every day at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Pacific. That's typically when videos go up. So Monday through Friday. If you guys are dropping likes, that's the best thing you do for a channel. If you watch the video for more than about 15 seconds, you haven't dropped a like, you're doing the channels that you do like a disservice. If you want to support the channel financially, ton of affiliate links down below. Coffee Brand Coffee, 5% off your order. Doll Strong Knives, some of the best knives out there. They've sent me a bunch of stuff, and I have had zero issues with their stuff at the price point. Best stuff out there at the price point. And all of the Amazon affiliate links, if you're looking for something on Amazon, just use one of my links. Just click on it and then search the item you're looking for. Don't buy the stuff that's down there if it's not what you're looking for, but I still get credit when you do that. And I do have a membership down below. I'm going to do a membership drive. We're going to do a lot of member-only live feeds here coming up soon. So if you want to get in on the memberships, we do have a lot of fun. Everyone that's in a membership has access to my Gilded server. Baseline and Premium guys are automatically entered in giveaways that I do. Pretty good items that I give away. I do that on the Gilded server, and the Premium guys have access to a sharpening tutorial series here on YouTube. Guys, that's it on this one. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comment section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I'll see you in the next video.